Good morning and thanks for waking up with us today. Today we're starting the show out at Marine Max out on Panama City Beach, and I'm here with John Hancharik, who's going to tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing. I know you've got a manager special, and we're going to go and look at a really cool boat that you're trying to sell, but you're doing some other stuff too, aren't you?
We have a lot of things going on in the community right now. We are the title sponsor for the Boat Parade of Lights, which will take place December 13th.
Oh, that boat parade is just awesome stuff, and I've had some people on the show about the boat parade, and that, you know, you guys in Marine Max figure prominently into that as being the sponsor.
Well, we'd like to do things like that, and we'll be leading the parade, of course, and we'll be having some good social interaction after the boat parade as well for all the boaters down at the marina.
So the whole boating community will be out there, and that's right in your wheelhouse, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Now, you just don't sell boats here. You've got some classes coming up soon too, don't you?
November 22nd, we have a seminar on electronics, and that'll be hosted by our resident expert here, Bob Fowler. He's our sales expert here. He hosts our seminars, and we'll be doing everything from chart plotters to transducers to everything you can think of on
fish
the electronics.
Finders, all that stuff.
The whole bit.
And there's so much technology in boats nowadays. You can put as much electronics on a boat as you want, I suppose.
That's a lot of the candy of the extras.
That is.
On the boat
That is.
that you like.
Well, John, I'm dying to see this boat you guys have out here. Let's go take a walk, check it out.
Fantastic.
All right, let's go. So, John, this manager special seems to be a Boston whaler, huh?
We're going to talk about Boston Whaler today, and our resident expert today is Mr. Todd Hudgel.
Hey, Todd, how you doing?
Good to see you again.
Hey, well, maybe you can show me a little bit about this boat. Thanks, John.
Sure.
The Boston Whaler makes the best little boats in the world. You saw one of their bigger boats last week, I think, with the 345 Conquest. This boat
It's a little smaller.
It's a little smaller.
Yeah.
These boats, it's a lot more than a yacht tender. This is a great boat for the bays, the backwaters. It's very affordable. This boat in particular has been marked down. It's a leftover. The boats are 316 stainless steel, best quality materials available. They're foam filled to the top of the gunnel, so they're unsinkable.
Nice.
You can cut the boat in half. Both halves will float.
Wow.
And
I'll try not to do that. It's
Boston
not
Whaler does
recommended you cut your Boston Whaler in half.
it. Boston Whaler does it all the time for TV commercials.
Do they really? Yeah. Someone get a chainsaw. But,
This little boat, unsinkable.
yeah.
You can actually run the boat without the plug in it.
So is this more of a fishing boat, or is it a great little family boat, or?
This is a fantastic, versatile, do-anything boat. You can ride around, you can fish, you can pull kids on tubes and skis. It'll really do anything you want to do. It does it well. They're the best riding, driest running boats in their class.
And absolutely safe too, I would imagine.
The safest boats built, Boston
Now it's
Whaler.
wide open. If I wanted to put a canopy or something on this, could I do that?
There are so many options for this boat you wouldn't believe. We generally order them plain because there are so many options. You can custom fit it to how you want to use the boat. There are 4 or 5 different options of seating for this bench alone. You can get a bimini top, a polling platform, a wake tower, a wakeboard arch. The options are just endless for these boats.
Oh, that's awesome. So, and you can do all that here at Marine Max, right?
Almost all. There's a couple things that we'd have to order from the factory, but almost all of that can be done right here.
That's awesome stuff. Maybe you can show me inside a little bit. What's going on in here?
Absolutely, absolutely. You can see there's a ton of space for your beach gear, your fishing gear, whatever you want to do with the boat that day. You just convert it. Got a built-in rotomolded cooler. There's a seat option for the cooler as well. Very well made. Holds ice a long time. Ton of storage up in the bow. It has the optional 19-gallon fuel tank. You don't have to worry about stopping at the gas station to fill this boat up every time you go, which is just a barrier to boating, you know?
Yeah, and you've got some pretty simple operation over here too. It looks like a real simple controls.
Very easy, very easy.
It's a real
to use,
basic boat.
Easy to clean.
Would you recommend this for like a beginning boater? Or?
It would be great for a beginning boater. Great for a lot of people with big boats buy these to run around in the bay when they don't want to run their big boat too.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
If you got this big giant boat and you can't,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you can't get up in the backwaters and the bayous, which is some of the prettiest scenery we have here.
Well, Todd, this looks like an awesome little boat, just for the right family, I suppose.
Absolutely.
Now, if somebody wanted to get this boat, I mean, how do we get in touch with you?
We're right here at Marine Max, Panama City Beach. We're at 3605 Thomas Drive. You can also get us on the web, marinemax.com, or call us on the phone, 850-708-1317. Better yet, just come by and see us, and please ask for Todd.
All right, so come on by and see Todd and see if you can get yourself in this great little boat. And we'll be right back after your local weather, brought to you by the West Pittman Law Firm, westpittmanlawfirm.com. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Dr. Tara Griffin at Emerald Coast Dental Sleep Medicine. And you know, we talk a lot about sleeplessness, and people who cannot sleep go to their doctors, and usually they get a little prescription to help them sleep. But a lot of times it's just kind of masking what the underlying problem is. And what are some of the problems that can keep people up at night?
A lot of different things. You can be presenting with pain, clenching, grinding your teeth. You can have symptoms as far as snoring, or the teeth grinding is an important thing that's overlooked very often.
And it's funny, doctor, I don't mean to interrupt, but a lot of times we think it's a medical problem, not always a dental problem. Who thinks dental
Yes.
when you can't sleep?
Absolutely, but they are very closely connected with each other, and now we know that. And the grinding of the teeth, one common thing that occurs when that's going on is actually you may have a restricted or narrow airway. And so that can be compromised, which if you're grinding your teeth at night, is disrupting your sleep patterns.
Sure.
So therefore you can wake up, you can feel fatigued in the morning and not necessarily stop breathing during the night, which is what the sleep apnea is that we also treat, but you can actually just be having disruptive sleep, which can leave you very fatigued, headaches, head and neck tension, jaw problems, pain, you know, a lot of things.
How do you stop from grinding your teeth? I mean, you're asleep. How do you stop that?
There are different methods that,
Or you should be
that
asleep, I don't know.
we use to help treat that. There are night guards and things to help protect the teeth from grinding, but also a lot has to do with the relationship of the joint, actually here the TMJ joint, and the muscles. And so one thing that we use also in combination with some of these night guards and appliances is our laser. We have a cold laser that we can use on the muscles to help treat inflammation and pain and anywhere in the head and neck area. And that can actually calm down the muscles so that they're more balanced and not tensing up and clenching as much.
And the reason for, I guess, that tension, people have busy lives. You know, you go to bed at night, you're processing the day's events or whatever is going on in your life.
Yes.
And before you know it, you're clenching, grinding.
Absolutely.
And, yeah.
People go through cycles of this, especially with TMJ problems. They will go through periods where it'd be painful for them and then periods where they don't notice it at all. So stress has a lot to do with it. You know, eating right, exercising, all those things are important to reduce the stress for you. And as well as that helps to calm everything down overall. It's going to improve your sleep.
I mean, TMJ, is that something you can cure, or is it just something you treat?
It's something we manage, is what we'd like to say. There are situations where we can resolve the clicks and the pain that can be associated with it, but not all cases. So what we do is we get a diagnosis, determine what's going on, and then try to manage the problem best we can. And there are some corrective appliances. I myself have been through that type of treatment, and I was able to resolve all of my TMJ issues with an appliance that I've worn.
So that's a success story.
Yeah,
so if
absolutely.
somebody out there is watching this and they're up early watching the show and they said, oh, I had a crappy night's sleep, so I'm going to watch Don Arias. And maybe they've been grinding their teeth. Should they just give you a call?
Yeah, absolutely. They can call the office, and we can see them. We do a consult with them, take a look inside, see what they're presenting with, and see what we can do to help. Again, it might be something simple like a guard. It may just be some laser treatments, some different things that we can use. We try to keep it very minimal. We try to avoid invasive procedures like surgeries and things like that.
Yeah, and I guess it really kind of beats just getting a script from the doc, too.
Yeah, absolutely. You could be masking something much more serious by, we really try to treat the root cause of the problem to resolve the issues that patients are having, rather medicate.
Yeah, when I was in the service, I had some problems sleeping, and I went to the doc, and they gave me a sleep aid, and I hated it.
Yeah.
It would knock me out, but the next day I was like,
you feel,
I just wasn't all there. And I think a lot of people are like that.
Yeah, there are a lot of people on meds, even over the counter, that they get to help them sleep. So there can be other serious issues. And of course, it's all related to your health. You need your sleep to be able to rest and recover and repair yourself every night.
And the treatments that you offer don't necessarily give you that hangover effect the next day.
Yeah, not at all. You're feeling refreshed in the morning. You're ready to go. You have more energy throughout the day. You're eating less because your body was able to restore and repair itself, through your sleep, and so you're not trying to make up for that with food consumption. So, your body's able to manage itself a lot better when you're sleeping well.
Dr. Griffin, thanks for clearing that up for us. And if you're having a problem sleeping, call Emerald Coast Dental Sleep Medicine and get to see Dr. Tara Griffin, and she can fix you up and get a good night's sleep. Thanks
Thank
again.
you.
Hi, this is David Lovett, and this is your Mad Hatter Minute. Today we're going to be talking about brakes. It's a great thing when your car runs right, but it means very little if you cannot stop. If you're maintaining your vehicle on a regular basis, you're rotating your tires every 6,000 miles. A good service technician, when rotating the tires, will be inspecting the brake system. They'll be looking at your brake pads, your brake calipers, your brake hoses, and your brake rotors. It's up to that technician to come back out and tell you, the customer, that you're getting close to needing a brake jobs. Brake jobs are a very simple process. A sign you can tell by yourself if you're going to need a brake job is a vibration. You get a vibration in the steering wheel, or you get a vibration back in the seat when you're applying your brake pedal. What this is your brake pads are closing in on your brake rotors, and your brake rotors are getting warped. They're warping left, they're warping right, getting high and low spots. And when you press your brakes, it creates a vibration which you feel back into your steering wheel and back in your seat. You'll know you need a brake job when you hear a high-pitched squealing noise coming when you're braking. Now that squealing noise will come when you're pressing your brakes, and sometimes you'll hear that squealing noise when you're just driving down the road. What that is on the brake pad, there's a little tab, and it's a hardened metal, and it makes contact to the rotor. When it makes contact to the rotor, it emits a high-pitched squeal. That's your car telling you you need a brake job. And when you hear that noise, get your car to a shop as soon as possible, because a simple brake job is going to turn into an expensive brake job before you know it. I'm David Lovett, and this has been your Mad Hatter Minute.
Hey folks, this is Joshua Brown with Mad Hatter on 23rd Street. Is your check engine light on? If it is, text MADHAT28, that's MADHAT28, to 24247, and we'll check it for free.
Welcome back to the show, and welcome to Dog Talk with Dr. Stephen Favaloro. We just made that up, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
No, it's your animal or pet health tip of the week from Forest Park Animal Hospital, Dr. Stephen Favaloro. And we were talking about ear infections and some of the common things that dogs get.
Yeah.
And I think most dogs will experience an ear infection sometime.
Yeah, and ear infections, I see them every day. If they're a puppy or a kitten, it's usually due to ear mites. After that, mainly you're looking at allergies as the main cause. I'd say 95% of the ear infections I treat are allergy related.
Just like people get allergies, dogs get allergies.
Yep. And the ear anatomy is a bit different than the anatomy in a dog in a person. So they got the long floppy ear, but that doesn't have a ton to do with ear infections. More so, the way the ear canal is made. So you've got the eardrum, which is called the tympanic membrane. And so you and I, if we're looking into our ear or through our ear hole, it's just a straight shot, just one canal. That's called the horizontal.
Doctor looks in there, looks right at it.
Right, or looks right through it. No.
Right.
That's the horizontal ear canal. So then, but the dog, they have another one that goes kind of at a 45 up called the vertical ear canal. And so when you look down at a dog's ear and you don't see anymore, that's really the beginning of the horizontal canal. So it doesn't get as much sunlight back down there, and also you've got a dog's normal body temperature of 100 to 102.5.
Oh, they're run a little hotter than we do, huh?
And then you've got a moist, dark environment, so that's a really nice environment for yeast and bacteria to grow in. So you get that skin to get inflamed, from an allergy, or if they go swimming, they get water in their ear and it stays in there, and then the skin softens up. Bacteria or yeast will invade that, and next thing you know, the ceruminous and sebaceous glands, which are the glands that line the skin in there, start to oversecrete all this wax, and then it protects the bacteria, protects the yeast, and then you got inflammation. It hurts, painful. So dogs usually they'll get what's called a otitis externa, that outer ear is what gets infected, not so much the middle or the inner ear. Sometimes we'll see those, but I'd say 99% of what we deal with is outer ear infections.
Outer ear, and dogs can't really stick their finger in their ear like we do.
They try to put that whole paw in there sometimes, that back paw.
But they'll shake their heads to get the water out.
And that's another, the biggest keys you'll see, like people will smell an odor. First place people will look at the mouth, but the ears are usually one of the bigger causes as well. They'll shake their head a lot, they'll scratch their ears. And then sometimes we'll get things like secondary to even the infection. They'll shake their head so much, that big floppy ear, it's very vascular in there, and so they'll rupture a blood vessel, and then that ear will just swell up with with blood, the pinna will, and then you got a hematoma on top of that.
Wow, good. And how do you treat that? Is it like antibiotics or ear drops or?
Well, the ear infections generally, treating the ear infections usually is as simple as flushing out the ear with the ear solution and putting medicine in. And if the ear infection is related to like an isolated incident, like let's say a dog bite or it went and got swim and got water in it.
Yeah, went swimming in a pond or a lake or something.
Usually you treat it, it's clear, it's no problem. But if it's driven by allergies and you treat the ear infection, well, you'll get the infection gone. But 2 weeks later, it's back. Not because you didn't clear it, because the driving force of why it was there is not been addressed, and that's the allergy.
Yeah, so you have to actually not only treat that infection, but you've got to treat that allergy somehow.
Right, you got to find out why it's there first.
Yeah.
You know, and usually it's both ears. It's not usually just one
And
ear.
it's not always an allergy. It could just be something that's acute infection from swimming.
It can be, but usually not.
Really?
Yeah, 95% of them are allergy related.
And how do you treat a dog for allergies? You put them on allergy meds?
It depends on what they're allergic to. You know,
Yeah.
if it's seasonal, then you just treat it seasonally. If it's year-round, then you start talking about allergy testing, vaccinations, which they work okay. But there's other medicines that you can give more on a daily basis to kind of tame the immune system.
Some breeds more susceptible than others to ear infections, or they're all pretty
Cocker
much the same?
Spaniels have got to be the worst, man.
Really?
Yeah, they have a longer ear canal than most, and they have more ceruminous and sebaceous glands in there. So we see a lot of Cocker Spaniels. And Shar-Peis, they have like the most narrow stenotic ear canals in the world. It's like, I don't know how the wax even gets out of there. I don't know how any of them could hear, for that matter, because they're so small.
So those are two breeds if you have a Cocker Spaniel.
If you don't want to treat ears a lot, those are the two I'd stay away from.
You'll treat other
No
things,
offense to the
though.
two breeds.
Well, Dr. Stephen Favaloro from Forest Park Animal Hospital, thanks so much for getting us smart on those ear infections and the other things that can plague our dogs. We got to keep them healthy. We got to keep them happy. I mean, there are little friends that, you know, I wish they lived longer, quite honestly.
Yes, sir.
My dog's 11. We got the countdown now.
Nah, you're good.
Okay, we keep her healthy. Well, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Damon McMillan and Samson from Bay County Animal Services.
How you doing today?
Now you're Damon, not Samson. That's Samson.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Just
that's
wanted to
Samson.
clear that up for the viewers, just to make sure. Although you do look like Samson, you could be. What's the story with Samson? The beautiful chocolate
Yeah,
lab.
he is. Samson, the police had caught him. He was an evicted dog.
Evicted.
Yeah, the family was evicted, so he had to come pick the dog up. 3 years old chocolate lab.
You mean the family was evicted and left the dog behind?
Pretty much.
Wow.
If they wanted him, they could have come back and got him, which they never did. So we're trying to find him a good home.
And Samson seems like a pretty shy dog.
Yeah, until he warms up to you like he's doing to me. It took me a little bit, but he's a good dog.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming for him here, I think,
Yeah.
with all the lights and all that stuff.
It sure is.
But as with all the animals at Bay County Animal Services, you know, Samson's been neutered.
Yep.
Right. Has all the shots.
Has all the shots. He's a heartworm negative. He's got a microchip in him already. Only thing he would need is a rabies shot.
Okay. And a home.
And a home, and a good home.
Yeah. And how could we adopt Samson? How could you not love that face? and
Exactly.
those beautiful golden eyes. You know.
Just come in our shelter. You want to take it for a walk? We're more than welcome to. We got an area for you to walk them in.
You just come get acquainted, see if
Yep.
you get along with
Exactly. You can bring your animals up there if you have one that you're worried about not getting along with it.
Samson.
Intermingle them, see how they react. Pretty much, he likes every animal from what I've seen.
Yeah, and Samson is just very shy.
Yeah.
So it's probably a safe assumption to say that Samson may have been neglected.
Yeah.
And if someone abandoned him
Yeah.
at an evicted home, it's probably pretty good bet that he's been.
Pretty much.
Now, otherwise, he's pretty healthy. He's just very shy.
Yeah, that's the only thing which you can always break them from that.
Yeah,
Just
of
showing
course
them,
you can.
Showing them a lot of love.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of kids climbing on Samson,
Oh,
he'd be doing
yes.
okay. How old of a dog is Samson?
He's 3 years old.
3 years old. He's still kind of a big puppy, I guess.
Yeah, he sure is. Big old dog.
Yeah. And now there were more dogs like Samson down there
yes,
too.
we
Right?
have many more dogs that
So if
need a good
Samson may
home.
be too big for your lifestyle, because he is a beautiful chocolate
He
lab.
sure is.
You have smaller dogs, all
We
different
have
shapes and
anything
sizes.
from Chihuahuas to German Shepherds. So
Yeah.
whatever you're liking, they all need a good home.
Now, how did you get involved with this, Damon?
Well,
you're obviously an animal lover.
Yes, sir. Funny enough, I started out going through ambulance driving and stuff.
Oh,
So I
really?
switched from people to animals.
No, you're just one of those helpful people that
Yes, sir.
we all rely on to do what needs to be done, and others won't do.
Somebody's got to do it.
Well, Damien, thanks so much for the work that you do.
I sure
and
appreciate it.
thank you to the people at Bay County Animal Services. And I hope Samson finds a home.
I sure do
And
too.
if someone wants to find out more about Samson, what's the phone number again?
So 767-3333.
767-3333 if you want to adopt Samson. And we'll see you next time.